All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something I know a lot of you singers out there struggle with,
For sure.
that nasal twang when you sing.
It's so common.
Yeah, and a lot of people think there's no hope,
Right.
that they're just stuck with it.
Exactly.
But I'm here to tell you, there's a lot you can do about it
Absolutely.
to get rid of that nasality and get a much warmer, fuller singing voice.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of people think that nasality is just air coming out of your nose.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
And
that.
they're like, oh, I got to pinch my nose or
Yeah.
something to stop that. But it's really not about that at all.
So if it's not the air coming out of your nose, what is it?
It's about resonance.
Okay.
It's about where the sound is vibrating and how much space it has to vibrate.
So you're saying it's more about shaping the sound than like blocking air.
Exactly.
Do it.
You want to think about opening up the space in the back of your mouth.
Open.
Like you're raising the roof of your mouth.
Right.
Like a cathedral ceiling.
Gotcha. So like more space for the sound to resonate.
Yes, exactly. More space equals more resonance equals a fuller, richer sound.
Okay. I'm with it.
And that helps reduce that kind of sharp, nasally sound.
So what about the jaw? Does that play a role?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You want to let your jaw relax and drop naturally.
Okay.
Don't force it wide open.
So
Just let it hang loose.
Got it. So not like I'm trying to unhinge my jaw.
Uh-huh, exactly. Just relaxed and open.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, let's talk about the tongue.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting
Right.
because I've heard about this taco tongue thing.
Oh, yeah, the taco tongue.
I got to be honest, it sounds a little more like a food truck order.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Than like a singing technique.
So what is this taco tongue and how does it help?
So basically, you want to position your tongue slightly forward in your mouth
Okay.
and curve downward, like you're making a little taco shape with it.
Interesting.
I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it works.
But wait, doesn't raising the back of your tongue like block the air?
It's a gentle curve, not a complete blockage.
Okay.
Think of it like creating a smoother path for the air to travel through your vocal tract.
Makes sense.
This reduces turbulence, which can contribute to that unwanted nasal sound.
So the taco shape is like streamlining the air
Exactly.
for a clearer, more resonant tone.
You got it.
So it's not just about the space in the back of the mouth. The tongue plays a role too.
It's all connected. The tongue acts like a sound reflector, guiding sound waves toward the front of your mouth
Interesting.
and your soft palate, the back part of the roof of your mouth. That's like the ceiling of your resonance chamber. And raising it expands the space.
Working in tandem with the tongue position.
Exactly.
This is fascinating. It's like a whole orchestra in there.
In a way, it is. All these parts working together.
So how do I know if I'm doing this taco tongue right? What should it feel like?
That's where mindful practice comes in.
Okay.
Start with some vocal warm-ups, like lip trills or sustained sounds. These encourage openness right from the start. Then try singing with your usual technique, and then again with the taco tongue. Pay attention to the sensations in your mouth.
Okay.
Do you feel a difference in the resonance? Does the sound feel less constricted, more open and warm?
So I'm really listening for those subtle shifts.
Exactly.
I bet recording myself could be helpful too.
Absolutely. Recording yourself gives you an objective perspective. You might be surprised by what you hear.
That's a good point.
And don't be afraid to practice. Specific vowel sounds,
Like what?
particularly open ones like ah and ah, these really allow you to feel the distinction between a nasal and a balanced tone.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Yes.
Not eliminating brightness altogether,
Yeah.
but finding that sweet spot
Exactly.
where it complements the warmth,
You want a full, rich tone. That resonates.
not a thin, sharp sound.
Right.
This has been an incredible deep dive. So for all of you listeners out there, ready to tackle that nasal twang, remember, it's fixable
It is.
with practice, awareness, and maybe a little taco tongue action. You can unlock a warmer, more resonant singing voice.
You got this.
And here's something to think about. If these principles of resonance and space apply to singing, could they also influence our speaking voices?
Interesting question.
What happens when you experiment with your tongue position or creating more space while you speak? Could these subtle adjustments have an impact on your overall vocal presence?
Definitely something to explore.
Food for thought. Until next time. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.